Hi Stampers, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you the thumping technique. I actually had some girls on my team that had heard of this just recently and wanted to know what the thumping technique was. And when I tried to explain it to them, they asked if I would actually create a video. So this is the card we're going to make. First, let me list everything you'll need to create this card. Cucumber Crush cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the center at 4 1/4 and folded. Affectionately Yours designer paper, 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and Whisper White, 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. For ink colors, you'll need Cucumber Crush and Cherry Cobbler and Chocolate Chip Stampin' Right markers. If you don't have these colors, you can use something similar. Stamping Dimensionals and Night of Navy Solid Baker's Twine. And for stamp sets, we're using the sentiment from Thankful Thoughts, and it's the one that says A Note of Thanks. And Lovely as a Tree, and I'm using the image that has the cluster of trees. So let's get started on our project for today. The first thing we'll do is fold our cardstock base in half with a bone folder and glue the designer paper in place. And I just want to mention that Cucumber Crush, as you watch this video, it will be retiring in a month from now, and I think it's probably already out of this online store. And as same with the designer paper, I'm trying to use up some of my supplies before they're gone forever. I'm going to bring in the Whisper White layer and also a scrap piece of white. Because I want the color to show up when I do the thumping technique, I'm actually going to ink up my stamp first and stamp it on the scrap just so that the color will be lighter. And I'm not going to clean this off. So the thumping technique is what you do is you use a Stampin' Right marker. And just a little tip if you're not aware of this, the Stampin' Right markers have two different tips. The thicker one on this end, which is a brush tip, and a liner, a lot thinner that you can actually write with. If you look at the marker, there's a thin line here and a thick line here. So that means that the brush part of it that we want to use for the technique today is on this end. You're going to take it so that it's loose in your hand, and you're just going to thump. So that's where the name of the thumping technique comes in. And this is just going to sporadically add color to the green, the Cucumber Crush that's already there. Now I'm going to do the same with the Cherry Cobbler. And you can do one color, you can do 3 colors, it's up to you. So I'm just going to keep thumping. And I'm also going to bring in the chocolate chip back in, and I'm just going to color the trunks of each tree. And then I'm going to center this a little bit higher, so I can add the sentiment to the bottom and stamp. And now you can see that we've added color to the Cucumber Crush. There's 2 different colors there. It just gives it a little bit more of a detail. So now we're going to come in and add the sentiment below the trees. And I'm going to bring in the twine and wind that around. I'm just going to add a small bow in one corner. Now this is another trick that I actually showed one of my customers this weekend. When you do the twine and you start pulling in, it sometimes tangles itself. So what I do is I make large bows and then I put my finger slightly to the right of the knot and I start slowly pulling, and see how it stays intact there so it doesn't get tangled up into each other. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I hope you know what I mean by tangling. It sometimes will curl into each other, the bow part, and then it's just really difficult to take that apart. Okay, I'm just going to trim that. And then I'm going to add Stamping Dimensionals to the back. So this is a really quick card today. I just wanted to show you, focus more on the technique and not all of the layers on my card. And then we're going to remove the backing. And you can do this with any stamp image that has a lot of detail to it. And we'll glue this to the front. And that finishes off the card for today. So you can see where the thumping technique really added some detail to our card. If you have any questions, make sure you leave me a message on YouTube or on my blog, and you can also email me. I'll list all the supplies I used today, and I hope you have fun trying this technique. Bye-bye.